Alright, last night I got on this mushroom identification group, and I showed a couple photos, 3 different posts of golden oyster mushrooms, because that's what season it is right now for me, anyways. And it's like the dead zone in between morels and chicken of the woods, which they should be starting to pop anytime too. But then I found a whole mess of golden oyster mushrooms, and I have some pretty good pictures of them, pretty good photos. I happened to have my phone with me, so I took a photo of them. Well, I posted them up there, and I identified them into the post. Well, evidently, supposedly, which I didn't read this in the what are you doing, Dolly? And I didn't read this in their group that if you identify the mushroom yourself, then they'll take your post down. That doesn't even make any sense to me. They say this is a group where people ask to identify mushrooms and then they get identified. It doesn't make any sense why you would take a post down. Say you're somebody that's seen these mushrooms many times in your life, right? Don't know much about mushrooms, and you're starting to learn. Say you're like a greenhorn or something, right? You know what I mean? But you happen to live in an area where they grow at, and they can be beneficial to you for many reasons. Then why take the post down? You know what I'm saying? Say you aren't inquiring about it, but who's to say that you wouldn't someday? And there you go, automatically are identified for you, and isn't that what it's about? It doesn't make any sense why they would take the fucking post down. But I'm not gonna go on about the mushroom thing. On this group though, okay, so alright, now golden oyster mushrooms, like I said before in that video, they're native to China, Russia, and Japan. Fungi can be traced back to its origin, sometimes thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. So I said, well, here's what I think it is. I think it's an early Mongolian race that stretches all the way back to the time of the dinosaurs, because I have carved dinosaur bone fragments, which I'll show you on this video, from this very race. I have carved petrified wood, which means that before the Ice Age, they were utilizing dinosaur bones for arrowheads, spear tips, scrapers, you name it, for their tools, for their everyday tools, because there weren't that many stones around. There was rocks, yeah, but most of the time, the rocks that would have been around would have been being eaten by the plant-eating dinosaurs, because that's what plant-eating dinosaurs do. They eat rocks, and then their gizzards would polish them, and then you get these really nice smooth rocks. But that wouldn't have been until after you would kill a plant-eating dinosaur and get the gastroliths, is what they're called, out of their bellies. So yes, they had hammerstones, and yes, they might have used some of that what they call like river pebble, creek pebble, river pebble for some artifacts midway towards the end of the time of the dinosaurs, is what I'm thinking. Well, right before the Ice Age. Now we all know that Native Americans have prophets in their tribes. They would prophesy about the future upcoming events. As a matter of fact, I think it was the Hopi Indians that predicted the cobwebs in the sky, which a lot of people have come to know them as chemtrails these days. That's supposed to be during the Great Cleansing period, which is happening now, kind of like Revelation in the Bible. But irregardless, forget about that for right a second. Now, every tribe has a prophecy, and they foreseen the coming Ice Age and knew that they had to get underground if they wanted to survive. Now, around here in this area where all these dinosaur bones are at, and all these Paleolithic artifacts that I find are in these areas, are really old coal mine shafts. Okay, that were utilized by early white settlers. When we came around here, after a while, they realized that coal was a really great source for fuel. So we mined coal. We mined coal back in the 1800s, mid 1800s, all the way up into the early 1900s. We would mine for coal. So this is my theory. I believe that these tribes, these Paleolithic tribes, were an early Mongolian race that spawned the Des Moines River monks, which you don't find much information about. and they survived underground in the coal mine shafts, but they were alive during the time of the dinosaurs. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like how Messenger does that. They survived during the time of the dinosaurs, and were alive during the time of the dinosaurs. And the reason I know this is not just because of the dinosaur bone fragments that were carved, but that should be all the evidence that I need of. But there's also chunks of molted chert, and molted chert is known to be organic. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mud Fossil University on YouTube, but he's been doing videos for quite a while. It's really interesting channel, really interesting programs that he puts up there on there. He even talks about dragons and things like that, but he even agrees, I agree with him, that molted chert are chunks of dinosaur meat. They're meat, fat, that was agatized, fossilized from the Ice Age. Now, these are ready-made chunks that were around fire pits from the early Paleolithic tribes that were alive during the time of dinosaurs. They would slay a dinosaur, they would cut it into chunks, and then they would cook the meat, and they would eat well. They ate very well, and that's why they were so big boned, strong, healthy. There wasn't a Paleo Indian that was not healthy. Let's just put it that way. They were very healthy. They ate well. And the chunks of dinosaur meat that I have, which is known today as molted chert, I've got some great big chunks. Small chunks, small pieces to big pieces, different shapes and sizes. And that's what it is. Molted chert, that's what it is. It's dinosaur meat that was fossilized and agatized from the Ice Age. So, they came back up after the Ice Age. They found these big chunks of meat that they was going to eat before had been fossilized and agatized from the Ice Age. That's what spawned the spear tips out of flint, arrowheads, and things like that, because that's what it is. It became flint at that point. So they would take their hammerstones that were everywhere at that point, because all the dinosaurs were dead. They were extinct. They didn't get to go underground and survive the Ice Age. So wherever there was a plant-eating dinosaur, there would be a pile of gastroliths. So they had ready-made hammerstones, and they barely had to do any work on them stones, just maybe a little notch here or there, whatnot. So there's lots and lots of potential really good hammerstones that would have been utilized as tribes, not only as hammerstones. Some of them were prized possessions to them. They really took a liking to certain stones. That's why you would find some of these gastroliths today that were owned by the tribes, owned by the Native Americans, around these artifacts that don't even have hardly any nicks or dings on them. Some of them were utilized as tools, and then some of them were just utilized as precious stones, whatnots, keeper stones, charm stones, different types of things. You know what I mean? So, ceremonial stones. And there's lots of other reasons. I don't have time to go in elaboration about all of that, about the hammerstones and gastroliths, hammerstones. They go hand in hand, okay? So I explained to you just right now, the Mongolian race, they called it Angia back then, during the time before the Ice Age, pre-Ice Age, and even out there during the time after the Ice Age for probably a good couple 100,000 years, while the continents started separating apart from each other. During that time, during the time of the dinosaurs, all of these land masses were all connected together in one great big landmass. Okay? So, Mongolia, Russia, China was pretty close to Iowa back then. Okay? Because they were all connected together. So that explains how this tribe got here to Iowa, because it was already here. It was always here in the first place. It has separated away from it since then. Okay, this is scientifically proven. You cannot refute this evidence, though. So and they don't even want to. So what they did was they started laughing at everything. They disabled the comments on the post, because I gave them a little bit of tidbit information and started explaining this to them last night. And I got fucking tired of it, I got to tell you, because for one thing, when you try to type on these devices, they'll change your words, make you misspell words, whereas when you spelled them right in the first place, they try to make you look stupid every step of the way on Facebook. And it could be on any group, it could be on your posts, it could be in Messenger, somebody privately. They constantly are doing this. I don't. They've been doing it for years. So I got fucking tired of it. I was like, I'm getting drunk and I'm going to fuck to sleep. Fuck this. You know what I mean? I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll fucking sit here and I'll read a bunch of retarded, idiotic comments from people that think they're smart because they use Latin terminology for mushrooms instead of household names, just to try to confuse people. You know what I mean? That's all, but that's all the extent. They're like, rocks are boring. Show me mushrooms. I'm like, okay, show us mushrooms. What the fuck ever. I'm gonna make my own mushroom identification group. You know what I mean? This group's for the birds. I pretty much told them, you guys are fucking stupid. You're fucking retarded though, for real. They said I showed them mushrooms. I asked about identification. They got so pissed off and so bent out of shape and so petrified last night that every one of them now are a perp. Every last one of them that's commenting now are perps. They're not even commenting. They're just doing the little laughing symbol, and they keep like they're laughing at me. You know what I mean? When they're the fucking one, they're the clowns, and they're the ones that should be fucking laughed at though, for fucking not wanting to learn anything that can be beneficial to them and future generations, educational purpose wise, and they want to keep laughing like they're something, like they're fucking funny and shit. So I'm just like, this is fucking retarded. I'm done with that group. I'm not fucking doing that group anymore. I'm gonna do my own mushroom group. I do other things and hunt for mushrooms anyways. I don't got time for that shit. You know what I mean? I'm a painter. I write poetry. Yeah, I mushroom hunt, but I hunt for artifacts. I got a lot of ambitions, a lot of things I like to do in my days. My day does not entail me sitting there and fucking watching a bunch of stupid motherfuckers laughing hyenas, laughing at their own purpose for their own group. Doesn't even make fucking sense. These people don't even make any sense. Okay, so I went on a little rant about that. Like I said, I'll show you the evidence of what I just said, what I explained to you. I'll show you evidence of that. I'm gonna do that here directly here in a minute. But I'm working on other things today too. So in this video, I'm gonna show a little bit of that, and I'll show you a little bit more later, maybe a little bit more in videos to come. But I'm not gonna sit here and spend an entire video dedicated just to artifacts right now, because if I do that, it'll take me all day. It's already 1:30, and then I won't achieve and accomplish the things that I was wanting to do there for the rest of the day today anyways. So but yeah, I've got paintings that, okay, another thing too, another group, was it a group? No, it's Facebook Marketplace. I was trying to sell some of my canvas paintings, my Jackson Pollock style abstract drip splatter live action paintings that I did, and somebody had inquired about it, and then they haven't responded to me since then, since I've answered their inquiry, but the only one that showed up on there. And then all of a sudden I read there was 5 comments, but I only got to see 2 of them, and one of them supposedly was from an admin, and this admin's some blonde perp looking, she's straight up a perp, and she's writing it out like, what a jerk this guy, he's out of here, we don't allow negative comments on people's posts. And I'm like, what's his name? And she won't tell me his name. And I said, you want to know why you won't tell me his name? Because he doesn't exist. He was probably somebody offering to buy my paintings, and you're trying to business sabotage me by hiding the comment and then pretending like it was somebody that left negative comments to me. But you can't tell me his name, so I don't even believe for a second somebody even left negative comments. And then she said, it was some guy who said you paint like a 5-year-old. I was like, oh, we haven't ever heard that before. When we do fucking drip splatter fucking live action paintings, they always say that shit. That we paint like 5-year-olds, that Jackson Pollock painted like a 5-year-old. Jackson Pollock's painting sells for hundreds of fucking millions of dollars. These people are fucking retarded. They're retarded, they're fucking ridiculous. And it's Facebook Marketplace anyway, so everything I try to fucking sell on there, they're always trying to sabotage me on. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a painting, it could be mushrooms, it could be Kiss records, it could be whatever the fuck it may be. They're always sabotaging me. We're TI, we get stalked. I get stalked by one pathetic, retarded, fucking brainless, reject, fucking stupid, fucking troll though, and every day, and it's that one troll that dedicates its entire fucking day to try to keep me from making money though, trying to keep me from earning. So that's what the fuck it's really all about. It has nothing to do with whether I fucking paint like a fucking 5-year-old. As a matter of fact, I just did 3 more of them. I haven't listed them yet. I like doing paintings like these. Okay. So, these people are fucking retarded. They're just being dumb. They're just jealous or something. I don't know. Maybe they don't know how to do a fucking, a good, really vibrant Jackson Pollock style painting. Maybe that's what their problem is. I don't really know. Or maybe it's because they didn't think of it themselves. You know what I mean? But I've been doing these for over a year now. And, I don't just paint like that. Okay, this is a style of painting. This isn't the only way I fucking paint. Okay? So it pisses me off. And I'll bring these outside to I got a couple more too. I was going to show pictures of it. It's not going to really do justice me showing them from a distance like this right now. And I got the dogs in the way over here, freaking lounging around. So, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on pause real quick. All right, and then I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna show you a few carved dinosaur bone fragments, big pieces, carved scenes on some of them, and also have tools that were carved out of dinosaur bone fragments also as well, and that they were utilized by Paleolithic tribes, which I believe is a Mongolian race during the time of Angae. I don't know how you pronounce it, Angae, when all the continents were connected together and when China and Russia was closer to Iowa. Okay? And that's scientifically proven. That's a scientific fact, though. Alright? So hold on a second. Alright, so I'm going to show these real fast. And like I said, I'll do another video later, too, also. Fucking door. It rained this morning, and so some of these got kind of wet. I'll present them better on another video too. I mean, I got them on the ground and around dirt and grass right now, but well, I can't see shit now to even flip this thing around. Okay. Now, they said exoskeletons are boring. That's an exoskeleton right there. Right, now this is a dinosaur bone. There's another little exoskeleton with horns. And then these little ones here are dinosaur bone fragments. And that's a big dinosaur bone fragment. That's that tooth that I showed. That's a carved dinosaur bone fragment. A big specimen there. There's a carved stone. Some kind of granite. It's even got moss on it. I remember when I found that out, I was like, woo! Here's another exoskeleton. Exoskeleton is an impression of a face that was fossilized with fossils. And I'm getting shadow in the pic of it. Mortar pestle, very nice mortar pestle with bow drill sockets. I did get some paint on it, as you can see a little bit, because I do my paintings and I get a little wild with my paint sometimes. But bow drill sockets are these little holes drilled into them. There's quite a few on this piece here. There's some underneath of it too, also as well. Now, oh, and then I showed you that part of a skull. And then a petrified tortoise shell. So, okay, there's a few of them, and let me pause it real quick. I really don't even know why I'm doing a video on YouTube about this right now anyways, because every time I do a video of artifacts, dinosaur bones, or anything like that, they won't show the video to anyone. And I can just tell that from looking at my channel and looking at the amount of views that I get on these things. There's no way that only 4 people is going to look at a video that has dinosaur bones, Tyrannosaurus Rex, T-Rex tooth in the title. So I know I'm being, what do they call it, censored, shadow banned, harassed every time. And I know who it is that's behind it. I don't know why YouTube works with them and allows them to get away with it, but they do. So here is a carved dinosaur bone fragment. Sorry, I got a little bit of paint on my finger still. With a point. Okay, that's pre-Ice Age. Here's a scraper. Dinosaur bone fragment. Yeah, I've got lots of these. I find them all the time in my yard, digging them up while I'm doing gardens, things like that, and a few inches down, just like 3 or 4 inches under the surface. Sometimes you'll find them on the surface and somewhat in the ground. There's just a few specimens right there, a few pieces there. They're all from dinosaur bones. They've all been carved. You can see that there were serrations, that they were worked to pieces. Okay, so I'm done showing you that for right now because, like I said, I got other things to do today. I'll present them better later and try to give you a better idea, better examples. Those are really good examples. I've got professors that I have to show these to. I've got all kinds of different things that I've got to do. Doing YouTube videos about them, like I said, does me no good because they won't show the videos anyway. For my own records, my own documentation purposes, whether or not they're going to be messed with or not after the fact, when isn't going to make a difference in the long run anyway. So for them, I mean, it will for me, but not the way they think. So I mean, like I said, I got other things to do. I'm joining new groups, different things I do, so I've got to put some time into them too, also as well. And I've got to send emails to professors. I've got to talk to on the phone a few people possibly. It's already going on 2 o'clock, so I think it's still recording. I don't know why it does that. So, without further ado, I'm going to end this video here. I'm not even going to put dinosaur bones in the title of this or anything like that because I know what's going to happen. They're not going to show it to anyone. So, I think their algorithm's doing it based off of the titles. So, I'm just going to title this one about gang stalking for targeted individuals. Which there, I mean, I do explain a little bit of how I'm targeted, and it's all covertly anyway. So, I mean, it is relative to the video of what I'm talking about, but it's not the only topic and the only subject that I talk about in the video, obviously, either. So, but that's why I'm doing it that way. So, I will be back later with another video.